Fubara is shining. Fubara is shining. River State is shining. Fubara is shining. Fubara is shining. Fubara is shining. Fubara is shining.
Sorry, are we good to go?
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry.
Give my tripod.
Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Are we good to go?
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
No, wait, no, just a minute. Just a minute. Please. Just a minute. Are we getting good shot?
Yeah.
Short set. Arise.
Sorry.
It's a short set.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Excellency Governor Fubara, you smiling and you've seen the president. Can we get a test of what your meeting is with the president?
They are aware that the suspension was lifted on the 17th, midnight 17th, and I came in on the 19th. I came in from my family to see Mr. President. I'm back, and I believe that will also be shown as the governor of the state. It's not father's on discussion, telling me thank you.
No, father,
If at all, there should be any.
no problem. You are one.
So what did the president?
What did he tell you, sir?
What did he say?
Nigerians want to know.
He advised me on what to do and how to go.
And the question many people ask is, are we sure? You've read so many articles and now you're smiling so much. The question is the peace a real peace? Or is it just a peace that everyone is just voting that may likely escalate later?
What should the people of Rivers State be expecting?
I don't know what you mean by
The people you.
I don't know what you mean by is it a better peace.
Or a real peace?
So long as I'm concerned, we have made peace. My Fubara and his principal are working together. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're aware that the suspension was lifted on the 17th, midnight 17th, and I came in on the 19th. Ideally, it's proper for me to see Mr. President to tell him that I'm back and I've also resumed my responsibility as the governor of Rivers State. It's not much, it's father-son discussion, telling him thank you and the areas where, if at all, there should be any issue, for him to guide me properly so we don't be in any situation that will bring crisis again. That's what he said to me. He advised me on what to do and how to go in the right step.
And the question many people ask is, are we sure? You've read so many articles and now you're smiling so much. The question is the peace a real peace? Or is it just a peace that everyone is just voting that may likely escalate later?
What should the people of Rivers State be expecting?
I don't know what you mean by.
The people you.
I don't know what you mean by. Is it a paper piece or
Or a
peace?
real peace.
So long as I'm concerned, we have made peace. My Fubara and his principal are working together.
They have made a real peace. As far as he's concerned, him and his principal, Nyasin Wiki, are rolling tight. Tinubu is in control. That's all it means. The River State is already in the pocket. On the other news, they have given the Tinubu administration to just keep going, borrowing of money. Isn't that sweet? And somebody will come and tell me that he will lose the election. How? All right, let's look at it. That one person that is always spying on me, the devil will catch you, man. Like, the devil will catch you. Whoever you is, we will meet. And it's not going to be funny. So the Speaker of the House, Tajudeen Abbas, came out to clarify the rumor, according to him, that is how they're misleading the public. Let me read what he said. Abbas said recently a speech delivered by the House leader at the West African Parliamentary Conference was erroneously and mischievously reported out of context, creating the false impression that the House of Representatives does not support the borrowing strategy of President Bola Tinub administration. We wish to state clearly that this interpretation is both inaccurate and misleading. The 10th House of Assembly, indeed the National Assembly, have consistently affirmed that in the face of pressing developmental needs, strategic and responsible borrowing is an essential physical tool. Like every modern economy, Nigeria must sometimes leverage credits to finance critical infrastructure, stimulate growth, and protect vulnerable population. What is important and what the president has assured is that all borrowing remains targeted, transparent, and sustainable, consistent with Nigeria's medium-term debt strategy and guided by global best practice, he said. Abbas added that borrowing by the Tinubu government are justified as they are channeled into funding critical infrastructure, stimulating growth, and protecting vulnerable population. Under the President Tinubu's leadership, borrowing funds are being channeled toward transformative projects that will expand revenue-generating capacity, such as power, transport, and agriculture, rather than for consumption. Is this why Obi want to change from consumption to production motto to democracy has been murdered? I hope I'm wrong. Anyway, so rather than for consumption, the House stand firmly behind the president's vision of using judicious borrowing as a catalyst for growth and poverty reduction, while simultaneously strengthening oversight mechanism. In the face of pressing developmental needs, strategic and responsible borrowing is an essential physical tool. Like every modern economy, Nigerians must sometimes leverage credits to financial and the law because it's modern economy. How modern is our economy, for God's sake? Okay. Oh, say my grandma and I will like every other modern economy, right? Nigeria must sometimes leverage credit to finance critical infrastructure, stimulate growth, and protect vulnerable population, Abbas stated. The speaker therefore called on Nigerians to support the government of President Tinubu, assuring that his borrowings are guided by prudence and global best practice, adding that the funds are being targeted at transformative projects. Like what? Uh, Shena Lagos Calabar Road, like getting us a new INEC chairman. That will be the next thing. They are doing everything they can to divert public attention away from that. So that's the next thing I should speak about. Because at the ending of this month now, I think the Jaga tenure is ending this month. This month means this week. This week means literally next week. So now the conversation supposed to, this is the time for the public to debate about who's suitable and who is not. But they are keeping it on the G. They give us Wiki and Shewore, Fubara and Tinubu. Like shit that's it's already a done deal. So before we know now, they go hit us with one name, boy. And before you know, the Senate has gone ahead to give up pa. Anyway, so when those way see they think say Tinubu will lose election. Anyway, I know that the only people who are still having hope that Tinubu can be beaten, literally are the obedience, I guess, because watch this before drinking plant-based milks. Because the way Atiku is moving, it doesn't seems to me that it's about 2027. That man is trying to solidify his holdings of the entire North, especially the Buhari vacuum, and hold that as long as he can, as long as he's alive anyway. Because if the guy no show up and show out in 2027, if somebody else from the north decide to pull it off and beat him to the second position or have more numbers than him, it's done. So as far as I'm concerned, his focus, because he knows what Okuzo can do at that level, grassroots, running around the power brokers. So I think he's really obedient that are still believing that anything is possible. And I think the only thing that is giving them that boost or courage or to keep, having that belief is the technology that is at play. Well, I trust Tinubu. Tinubu is on top of his game because people are not the role AI is coming to play in next election. It will be felt, will be pronounced, and now only those who they on the know will not be taken unaware, which is where the obedience are kind of having an upper hand. But the man in power is leveraging everything within his reach to go to the source. Sneaking in and out of hotel in Paris with the CEO of Google. She say a lot with his minister of digital economy. So I think they will not be caught pants down. They won't be caught lacking. That's one thing that's for sure. But because with all this money coming in, pretty much billions of dollars coming in from, to do what he will be in his favor anyway. Go and share the money, literally. So the guy is solid. The fact that Wiki, people are more interested in just, shit is not. I don't understand. Thinking that Wiki will be extradited. Like, what the fuck, man? Wiki will just come into the scene this year. This motherfucker has been running around the country, running around this at the national level for over 20 years. These motherfuckers, they carry meeting, they go for London on how to make Tinubu win election. Like, and people see they believe the nonsense Chowore is doing. The day where they could finally find as a Chowore a necessary distraction on the part of his class, the elite. That day, I wonder how they go see how. Wicked they go do. People don't understand the role Wicked play in bringing Tinubu to power. He plays his own small role. I intend bring River State for Tinubu, not and he had no role. These guys that they go do their meeting for London, then they go Paris in the name of the Gang of Five. Like, what do you think? If this man they don't know, they know they run, they know be agents, they know they run things for the man where you say they want to arrest him, then you must be kidding me. The guy who's all in family, they abroad there America, and you think they don't know what they are doing. Wife is a lawyer at the highest level at that. So, no, they can't connection with that or what it means. But Tinubu should be credited for putting Wiki, giving that kind of position to hold in the administration. And one of the most effective ministers so far. And the wrong way, Lai Mohammed was the last person that played this role effectively. Yeah. Although in Ababa JJ, but they collect on behalf of Buhari, but Buhari too still. No, him and I think the Minister of Attorney General of the Federation, Malami too, was one. It's just that they are not media savvy like Wiki. Wiki is media savvy. Make you understand the times we are in. So Tinubu is totally in control of the power brokers. It's not shaking. I mean, the way they dress this semi reverse thing is. I mean, this is a situation that is unheard of, unacceptable by every standard, every measure of democracy. But the guy pull it off. Not 6 weeks, not 3 months, 6 fucking months, half of a fucking year. It literally dictates everything. But that's not just the amazing part. The way the guy take come back 6 months and it can't be say they were able to turn the old narrative Now see him as that alpha and omega of a king who has the wisdom, of settling issues that are deemed to tear a society apart. And so they come to see the man himself, Tinubu. A guy come back, they beg. Literally. He go dey lawyer for life.
You're aware that the suspension was lifted on the 17th, midnight 17th, and I came in on the 19th. Ideally, it's proper for me to see Mr. President to tell him that I'm back, and I've also resumed my responsibility as the governor of River State.
Where you go?
It's
When you
not
say you are
much.
back. If I be one of the journalists where they ask a question, I'll ask, you are back from where? Where did you go to? Who sent you message?
Discussion, telling him thank you, and the areas where, if at all, there should be any issue, for him to guide me properly, so we don't be in any situation that will bring crisis again. That's what he said.
So what is the point of even contending an election in River State again? Knowing that the governor cannot act independent, cannot act according to his people. There's a bigger boss up there that will just say, hey, shut the fuck up, man. Go this direction or you are out. Literally, that's what it means. So to see that the civil society, all this show already, they like, that's already face north, while the action is in the west. These are the things you take upon yourself. Take it to the next level. Take it to the people. But Obi self on his own, he carry his own response go Ghana. Like, it's so fucking ridiculous. And people just cannot see what is happening. That Tinubu is fucking everywhere. The guy that comes, yeah, I had to report.
He advised me on what to do and how to go in the right step.
And the question many people ask is,
so you are not answering to the people of the state. That's what it means, literally. So what's the point of spending billions conducting an election? If you just elect the president, then the president will just select who will govern the state. I think we'll be better off. I wish you could fit suspend any governor where no fit perform. Do act like the Chinese. Chinese na competition they sell for their regional leadership. You have to perform before you come to the national level. What is your GDP saying this year compared to the other guy at the other hand? If that guy is doing way better than you, may stand a chance in joining the CCP at the national level. Maybe that's what we should do. Just elect the president. Let the president select the governors. Pretty much, they should be member of the cabinet. Let's get rid of National Assembly. I think that's a good idea. The man they think now. I mean, if this is acceptable and it stands, so let us come together, vote for a president, and let the president appoint the state governor, and get rid of the National Assembly and the Senate. That will save us money. Then I allow the and let the governor compete, set a standard. You rotate them. After 2 years, you take care in the house, put another one. That would be the best for. I think that's. I will go for. I will support that kind of system because that's pretty much what we are doing. Deceiving our spending billions. Our River State election cost billions of naira. The one man just sit down one day say, "Man, that motherfucker is not doing as I like. Let's take him out. Put somebody there first. For the meantime, make get sense." So there's no point in conducting elections, spending billions of naira. Just let's focus on electing the president and the vice president. Then let them appoint governors. Straight up. And reappoint them every 2 years.
So you read so many articles and now you're smiling so much. The question is the peace a real peace? Or is it just a peace that everyone is just voting that may likely escalate later?
What should the people of Rivers State be expecting?
I don't know what you mean by.
The people you.
I don't know what you mean by. Is it a paper peace or
a real
peace?
peace?
So long as I'm concerned, we have made peace. My Fubara and his principal are working together.
So it means he no get choice. Whatever they presented to him, he just have to accept. Or you cease to be a governor. So the fact that the necessarily stakeholders look the other way, then what is the point of conducting an election for governors? Appoint them. You appoint the governors, their deputy will serve as a minister. Literally. After all, Obi and Obasanjo and Cove have already concluded that the democracy has died. So, according to Baguji, once anything that died, let him die. Let him be dead. And start a new one. We're trying to resurrect what is already dead.
There are two questions, and I have a third issue that I think, Ruben, you need to address. But let me start with the questions you have raised. I think first, the issue of INEC. I think everybody is fairly aware that INEC, as presently constituted, has lost a lot of credibility. And it is very important that the institution gains this credibility. Otherwise, the stability of the country is going to be threatened, because when you have institutions that are not delivering, and especially a key institution like INEC, and if this failure continues, then it will erode not only, confidence in INEC, but confidence in democracy itself. And when that happens, you know the consequences. So let me come back to INEC. I think there are amendments that the whole country is waiting for. For example, that amendment, which I think late President Buhari refused to give assent to, which mandates INEC to use electronic tools and to use technology in delivering the result, is still pending. But more importantly, why should the president, whoever is the president of the country, who is an interested party in the election, be the one to propose the head of INEC. I think late Waste Committee has made very good recommendations, which have been blocked by those who are interested in manipulating INEC. I think we have to rescue INEC by making sure that the head of INEC is not appointed by a sitting president who is going to be interested in election. So there are a number of things that needs to be done. I'm not sure there is sufficient time for us to raise that, but I think the key issues are two. One, that INEC's credibility is at stake, and two, we have got to insulate INEC from political interference. If that doesn't happen, then it is the democracy that is holding the country that's being actually run down. And when that happens, there are consequences. The second
as much as this man is making a lot of sense about the president should not appoint the INEC chairman, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the president can single-handedly remove an elected governor of a state. Who the fuck is somebody that is going to be appointed? So it doesn't matter that the president appoint him or not the whole Nigeria come together in the referendum appoint the person. If you don't like him, you go see take him out. So the kind of conversation we are having in our country at times it baffles me. If we allow this shenanigan that took place in Rivers stand, I'm sorry, sir. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. If now like men America and China and Russia come together, choose INEC chairman. If I made them import INEC chairman, the president can say, hey, motherfucker, get the fuck out. Take that matter out. Because what can be more powerful than a community member of a state come together and say, this is who we want to lead us. Then one man from nowhere who has no tie with that community, he cannot speak their language, it does not belong to their culture, they don't share anything in common. The only thing they have in common is that, oh, yeah, one Nigeria. So can just wake up one morning and say, you know what? Oh man, I don't like that man, I don't like that governor. Yeah, he gotta go. Let him take a leave for the next 6 months. So if that can happen and we allow it to stand, and at the end of the day, we they glorify the man as if say, man, he's been so benevolent, everything he do is unheard of. This is godly. Wow, father of a nation. Like, what the fuck does it not matter if our INEC might come from heaven?
The second question, if I remember correctly, which you raised, is where do we go from here? I mean, considering what former President Jonathan said. And I think it ties down with the issue that I really think you should be raising, because the whole gathering in Accra is around the crisis of democracy, that democracy is not delivering the expectations of the people. And in Nigeria, if you take the statistics from 1999 to date, that's about 25 years. If you take the indices of development, whether you are taking the paternal and maternal mortality rates, or if you are taking the GDP, the growth in the economy, if you are taking all the indices of development that you take, you will see that from 1999 to date, we have been going down the drain. In fact, the GDP for this year is said to be much lower, actually about less than half of what it was in 1960. In other words, this country, under this democracy, is actually going down the drain. And it is time to really ask, of what use, of what benefit is democracy if it cannot really deliver? Is democracy made for the people or people for democracy? If democracy is supposed to serve society, then it has failed in Nigeria. And it is time to start thinking of how do we really bring about a system that can work for us. I watched the debate from beginning to the end, and I was saddened by the fact that the elite that gathered there could not think out of the a box of Western frame of thinking. In other words, they were all, and especially the guest speaker himself, he was going round and round while admitting the failure of democracy. He was still saying that we should stick to democracy. And that doesn't make sense. I mean, you have admitted that this system has failed to deliver. And you are saying that we should still hang on to it.
Mr. Bogaji, let me tell you, let me make you understand why it makes sense of a Matthew Kuka who, even though I say that was my criticism too. Democracy is in crisis here at home in an attempt to either rescue or push back na carry out of the crisis zone, take it to Ghana. And in Ghana, you declare that democracy has died. So if it has died, let it be. Let's come and form another system. But no, the guest speaker, who is Machi Kuka, was there talking about Abraham Lincoln and the rest of them. And there's a reason why. Look, I tell you now the reason why all these men should not be. When I say they are already gone, they are gone. All you need to do is to look at their educational background. Kuka himself, these are American chihuahuas, right? Yes, the guy in Reverend Father. So after finishing from University of Ibadan, where he obtained a diploma in religious studies, Kuka also received a Bachelor of Divinity at the Pontifical Urban University, Rome. That should start telling you why his view cannot be detached from where he's coming from academically. So he followed by a master's degree in peace study at the University of Brentford, United Kingdom, in 1980. Now do you understand? Kuka academic pursuit culminated with a PhD from University of London. Are you with me? University of London School of Oriental and African Studies. Then in 1990, at some unspecific point, he studied at the University of Oxford, in Oxford, England. He also at Harvard University, Cambridge, Massachusetts, and the greater Boston area in the United States. So these are hunch, they are all. Now then, when we talk about indoctrination with the Washington idea, now they be the custodians of the American interest in Nigeria. These people, where they see, what I mean is when they Matthew Kuka them. He is as powerful and respected like any leader you can think of in Nigeria, politically speaking. That guy you see so. Now then be the real when you talk as if somebody in an asset. What do they call it? Every day you know what they do your own investigation journalism reach that area. Those are the real assets. Now them be the custodians of the American interest in Nigeria. That's exactly what Dr. Usman Bugaji is trying to point out. I did not understand why the man is trying to, he cannot detach himself from the world. They can't. All of them. They can't. You see, those are the neocons. that the exactly where they have neoliberalism and all that. Shout out to GD, and they always they fond of using those types. These are the chihuahuas of the neocon, neoliberalism of the West. Now then assembled themselves for Accra. So Obasanjo at the top, right? Obasanjo will be the current governor of Ghana, and just all of them. All of them have the same thing in common. They were all groomed at either Harvard, there's Kennedy School of Governance, or London School of Economics. They groomed them. That's where they were trained. So you could see that they brag about what they did with us. Show what they did. Those are the junior colleagues. So it seems as if Tinubu is playing. He no one go all in with the neocons. It's kind of dealing with the Trump since it's a transactional way. Let's deal with it. That's why they see say Tinubu government is going closer to those countries that traditionally, if not Democrat they power, they no go try am. They are trying to, mend their ties with Cuba. Last time I saw an land about Nigeria and Cuba trying to form their relationship. Um, so we went. These are the real issue. No be show where they run up and down. It's not we can be in problem. No, as far as I'm concerned, my recommendation is that if the president has that much power to take any governor way no like out, let's stop electing governors. Let's elect the president, allow the president to select people who will govern the states, and we'll let him shuffle the governors every 2 years so that they'll sit up. They have one-time president, 6 years. That 6 years under him, we could change governors 3 times. Get rid of our National Assembly, get rid of uh, maybe leave House of Rep. So those will be the mechanism to checkmate the governor since they came from the represent. They are more they have more representation than the Senate, but the Senate they're not going to get rid of them because that is the elite wing of legislator. Senate not necessarily represents poor people; they represent the affluence in society, the nobles, the credentials, elites, the educated ones. From time America, we started the idea of Senate direct representative. That's what it's about. It was modeled after House of Lords, the parliamentary system of the British. House of Lords, even in name tell you, now Lords, you have to be a special person to be in the Lord's position. Then the House of Commons now be House of Representative. So that's when they decide to say, okay, let's the poor people to have a say. So that's why the those way they shout, regional, let's go out to regional, they don't understand it's a very class-based system. And the America twitches a little bit, say, no, we are not going to go with that royal institution bullshit. We are going to go directly to the people. Even that one's a lie. Because at the time, even though as a representative represent the ordinary people, at the time, ordinary people means you have to have a property to even to participate in the process of election. So at every stage you look at it, those houses represent it represents the few in the community. So that's why I only define that the American system of democracy is not for the not to protect the majority, rather to protect the class, the affluent class, away from the majority, protect them from the majority. That's exactly what it means. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Don't try. Do 40, 45 minutes. So now those are the signals, those are the serious things in the news. All this the other thing now. Bola Tinub, it's just okay for him to borrow more money. When you are having more money like this at the disposal, whoever you want as your INEC chairman, you get. Whoever you want, you get. If he put on a show, that's the next thing of this year, House of Rep, House of Senate, and when they do show and camera for us to they watch, just like the United States, they will come to shout for themselves as if they actually. But it's all for the. Anyway, if you come across this video, like, share, and subscribe. That's all you can do. Just like it and share it. If you're not a subscriber, do it. So you don't have to be told. Ciao, ciao. That one winch where they always monitor me so. Twali, thanks for your time.